Doesn't take much to have fun. As a matter of fact, in Jamaica, there's no such thing as being locked away indoors. You crazy? As soon as you wake up in the morning, you cannot wait to go outside because that's where the fun is, you know? If you have to stay in the house, it's like being punished. It feel like you're in prison. There are a few things that I truly appreciate about my childhood that I wish I was able to impart to my children. I wish they had some of the same upbringing that I had growing up in Jamaica. I just wish. I really wish. My childhood, I felt, was very fun and adventurous. Jamaica is very adventurous as a whole. Anything you do in Jamaica is full of adventure. From waking up in the morning to going to bed at night, we're talking about adventure. Adventure. All right. So for me as a child, it was so much fun. And even though I didn't come from a rich background, my family didn't really have the wealth or the money, even though people used to think we had money, but that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case. But yeah, we had a very humble upbringing, at least for me and my mom. I grew up in a single parent household. So it's tough. It was tough a lot on my mom, but she make ends meet, and so I just want to talk a little bit about my childhood. I just kind of wish I was able to give some of that experience to my children, because there's just something about being brought up in Jamaica. So in Jamaica, Jamaicans, we're very resourceful people. So I remember when I was little, I wanted this doll, and my mom could not afford to purchase that dolly for me. So what I ended up doing was I would go and get a mango seed. So after you pick your mango and you eat it, and you eat off all the flesh off that mango, so the only thing that is left is probably what we would call the fiber, which looks like hair. So I would take that dolly, that seed, see me, I call it dolly already. I would take that seed, right? And I would comb the hair of the mango. I would comb the mango hair, and I would imagine that this is a doll. So I would go ahead and even like draw on like the little eyes, the little nose, and the little mouth on the seed, on the dolly seed. I don't know if you guys, anybody out there, can relate to what I'm saying. This is talking about my humble beginning. I don't think I should feel uncomfortable talking about it, because I know that there's a lot of other people that can relate as well, and Jamaica is not all poor. I'm telling you, don't believe that Jamaica is all poor. Trust me. Mm-mm. I'm just talking about my upbringing, the things that I experienced growing up in Jamaica, and I look back on these things now, and I just appreciate it, because just not having the luxuries in life, it gives you a whole different perspective, of life, and you know how to appreciate things when the opportunities come. You will know not to be wasteful. You will know that it didn't come easy. So that is what my humble upbringing actually did for me now as an adult. And I would never trade that for anything in the world. I appreciated my humble background. So, yes, I had to use a dolly. I had to use a mango seed as a doll, because my mom just could not afford to buy me that little dolly that I wanted. So we, as children, we just kind of went ahead. We became very resourceful, and we just made up our own. And I really think those are the things that teaches us how to be creative in life, and I believe those are the little things why now, even if you're in a jam, it's not a big deal, because hey, I've seen worst. Okay. I've seen worse, and in the worst we were happy. So another thing about growing up in Jamaica is the snacks. Oh, yeah, snacks. There was this one guy in the neighborhood that we used to buy snacks from coming from school. And sometimes you don't have enough money to buy what you really want. But every evening coming from school, we will stop by this guy's. I don't want to call his name, but I used to stop by his little shop on our way going home from school, and we would buy our little candies, and I think they were called toffee and chewing gum. Oh, if you could buy a chewing gum, chewing gum, chewing gum, as in chewing gum. Um, the Wrigley's, yes, Wrigley's. Those little things is what we could afford to buy. Stamper. I don't know what you call it in your part of the world, or when you grew up in Jamaica. Some people call it sock. In my part, we used to call it stampa. Stampa is Kool-Aid that you mix, and you used to put it tight. You would pour that Kool-Aid into a bag, tie it, and freeze it, and sell it to the children. So yes, that was our snack, buying stampa. Another thing that I can remember is because we didn't have the money so much to run out and buy the chips and all the things that we love to eat, such as the banana chips. I used to love banana chips. I love banana chips. Lord help me. Even now, when I go to Jamaica, I have to have a bag of banana chips. But still, buying banana chips was really rare. And so what my go-to snacks used to be whatever is grown on my trees, my fruit trees in my backyard. That means my plum tree, my orange tree, my star apple tree, my pineapples. So we ate a lot of fruits, growing up as Jamaican. Tambourine, guinea, Lord Jesus, me miss guinea so much. I don't remember the last time I had guinea. I don't remember the last time I had guinea. Jesus, I feel like I need to come back to Jamaica for one whole year just to get caught up on some stuff. But anyhow, yeah, so our fruits and our snacks primarily came from the backyard. And I remember that plum tree used to attract a lot of my friends. I used to have a lot of male friends because for some reason my district, everybody was having boys. There's a lot of boys in my district. So they would come to my house and they would ask my mom. First, they would ask me to ask my mother if they could pick some plum off the tree. And my mom, she's open like that, especially when it comes to children. She will say yes. So they would come over, climb my plum tree, pick plum. They would eat it. They would fill up their plastic bags. And I remember I was forbidden from climbing that plum tree because I'm a girl. I grew up in that type of household where I am forbidden from wearing pants, and I'm forbidden from whistling, and worse, climbing trees. So yeah, so all my little friends, they would come over and they would climb the tree, and I would beg them, please. I used to tell them, not beg them, I used to tell them, listen, can you just bring down like a bag full of plum for me? But you know what they would do? They would go up in the tree and they would fill themselves up first. So that means that they're eating off all the best ones up there, all the ripe ones up there, and I'm there down below trying to monitor them from the ground. But of course, they're going to do whatever they're going to do. And I remember one time I got so annoyed that they're eating off all the ripe plums in the plum tree. So I decided I'm going to climb this tree. The minute I tried to climb it, there goes my grandfather. My grandfather, he just came out of nowhere. And yeah, and I tried to stay as still as I could on the tree. It's just like a lizard, Have you ever seen like a green lizard? They will sit there like really still, until you both eyes meet up. Well, that was kind of the situation with me. So I was like hanging onto that tree as still as I could, like a lizard. And my grandfather, of course, he saw me. And of course, it's like, get out of that tree, get out of that tree. But anyhow, yeah, so that was kind of what my childhood was like. And I shared my backyard, all the fruits and stuff that grew in my backyard with my neighbors, all the little kids in the neighborhood. They could always come to my house and enjoy the fruits of my grandfather's labor. Yes, yes, yes. So that was something that used to be a lot of fun. Friends, man, man, it's good to hang out together as friends, but I think for me, being the girl in the household, I was forbidden from going out on the streets. That is how parents are in Jamaica, where they don't allow their children to roam the streets. But of course, so often it's most of the boys that you will see out in the street, out and about, having fun. And I remember this one particular time, my mom actually was not home. She was away. She was in England at the time, and she left my cousin in charge of us. And there was a group of boys that built a cart from scratch. They made it themselves. So this cart is only about so strong, so much strong. They made this cart themselves. But all I saw is a whole bunch of boys like hopping the cart all the way down the street as fast as they could, and there were some kids sitting on the inside. It looked like fun because what it reminded me of a roller coaster. It looked like fun. But of course, being the girl, and I'm forbidden from going out into the street. So I saw them having fun. So I snuck out. I snuck out and jump on that cart. I snuck out, jump on that cart. And they were going down the street so fast as they could. And the person that was behind the cart lost control. That cart flipped over. The cart flipped over. Oh my God. Kids were flying everywhere, including me. We flew everywhere, including the cart. The cart broke up. And as a matter of fact, I got injured from that because like a nail actually went into my leg, right in my feet actually. And how am I going to go home and tell them, I was on a cart, I was having a cart ride and fall out of the cart? How am I going to go home and tell them that when I wasn't supposed to even leave the house? Okay, but anyhow, that was fun. Every time I think back about it, that was really good. Yeah, I had a good time. Yeah, my first cart ride, first and last cart ride. Okay, first and last. And then, of course, my mom, when my mom heard about it, she was like, Lord Jesus, me know, me shouldn't have left them. Me shouldn't left them. But, mom had to do what she had to do. And as kids, kids sometimes can be very adventurous. So, hey, that's what I did. I went out and had a little bit of adventure. So anyhow, so for transportation now. So when I was growing up in the 80s, transportation was, people don't really use transportation that much. It's not like here in the United States, you hop and you drive everywhere for everything. Even if you're walking, even if it's a mile away, you drive. But in Jamaica, we do a lot of walking. I had to do a lot of walking when I was younger. And I think I've been walking by myself from the age of 6. 6 because I had to walk by myself to go to school. And yeah, I just remember like maybe when I was in, it was like elementary. It was more like, I don't know, what age group is that? First grade? It's not first grade. It's not first grade. Is it kindergarten? It's kindergarten. Here it is called kindergarten. What is it called in Jamaica? Is it? I don't know. Please remind me. What is it called in Jamaica? But here it's like Ellie. It's kindergarten. So you're 6 years old walking to school. Well, I wouldn't say alone because you have a group of other children walking as well. And it was like a good 1 hour walk to school. And the thing about it is that even though you're only 6 years old, you know that you need to stay safe. You know that you need to walk in the corner of the street, and if there's no sidewalk, you create one. You create a sidewalk. In other words, if it's a little hilly right there, you know that you can walk up and over the hill just to stay safe, because safety in Jamaica is also a priority. We already know it's built in us that we need to stay safe on our way to school. So it would be a whole group of us walking a whole hour just to get to school. Yeah, no transportation. And when I tell my children about that, they're like, "What?" Because first of all, they don't even they don't even want to take the school bus to go to school. And as a matter of fact, the school bus comes and pick them up directly in front of our house. I mean, what? It's like luxury. That's luxury, okay? I didn't have that kind of luxury growing up. And so for for me, I had to do a lot of walking. And I think that is why Jamaicans are so fit. You notice Jamaicans are always slim and fit. And I think it's because of we do a lot of walking. We don't just go and waste money just to go somewhere 5 or 10 miles away. We're gonna walk it there. We're gonna walk it there. And that is why the last time when I went to Jamaica, I enjoyed walking up to my house so much, because I miss that. I miss just walking from point A to point B, man. Here we are so spoiled. Everywhere we go, we have to drive. But in Jamaica, we do a lot of walking, and by doing that, it keeps you active and it keeps you healthy. So when I was growing up in Jamaica, I was very, very healthy. When I came here, I was so skinny, but that's because I had to do so much walking. I was so skinny. Okay, so let's talk about home remedies now. For home remedies as a child, I remember my mom, she would, they say that I always have fever. They say that I always have fever. Reckon I always have fever. But my mom, I remember my mom, she used to use this thing called fever grass. Fever grass is what is also known as lemongrass, which makes a very flavorful tea. So my mom, she would use that a lot. She would either steep it and have me sit in it, or she used to put the fever grass underneath my body in the bed. Yeah, man, she would stuff the bed with fever grass, because they say that it's supposed to pull the fever out of your body. And I guess it worked. I guess it worked because I'm here today and I'm still good. So I guess it worked. Also, I remember because I always have a lot of fever growing up. Jesus, this one thing I hated was when they would sponge you down in cold water. Can you imagine roasting at, well, not 200 degrees, because that's what I'm thinking. I'm exaggerating the number a little bit. But can you imagine roasted from a very high fever? And then she went and get cold water with ice to sponge you down. Talk about torment. That is torture. That is torture. But those are the things that she would do because yeah, because Jamaicans are not quick to take you to a doctor. They're not quick to rush you to a hospital. Like here, if you have a cough and if you have a sneeze, oh my God, let's make an appointment at the doctor's office. No, 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 no. They're gonna find a home remedy for it. Home remedy, okay? So So yeah, let's pull out the rum bottle, stuff like that. My grandfather used to make this thing with rum. I think he used to put pimento seeds in it because I just remember the smell of pimento. So it's rubbing, actually, it's rubbing alcohol, not rum. It's rubbing alcohol with pimento seeds inside. I have no clue what it does, but that was like a home remedy that he used to use for whenever he has any ailments. Yeah, that he will pull that stuff out and rub himself down with it. And the funny thing is, you know what? I do that now. I do it. Yeah, yeah. My kids, they think I'm crazy sometimes because as soon as they're sick, where's the rubbing alcohol? Come here, boy. Let me see a mole. And then I will pour a little bit of the rubbing alcohol up in his mole. Yeah, a little rubbing alcohol up in his head somewhere, okay? And rub him down, rub it over his face, rub it on his chest, and you cannot tell me that that thing doesn't work. It works. It works. So that is what those are the things that I actually remember growing up as a child, and how my mom created these home remedies, to take care of us as children when we were sick. Yeah. Going to church in Jamaica is a must. And the thing about it is that as parents don't always go, but they're going to send their children to church. And I remember going to church when I was as a child on Sundays. Of course, we had to walk to church. Uh, not for hours, but it's a good maybe 20 minutes walk just to go to church. And church is like an all day event in Jamaica, all day sometimes, I tell you. And but then I got saved. I became a Christian when I was very young. And Jamaicans are very strict when it comes to your apparels, when it comes to what you wear to church. Jamaicans can be very strict. So when I got saved, I remember I had to cut up all of my pants, all of my shorts, and convert them into skirts. I don't know if anybody else has done that, but I had to do it, okay? But of course, we moved to the United States and realized, nobody cares about clothes, But in Jamaica, it's actually is a big deal, and I know that it is slowly fading away, but some churches still, they're very strict when it comes to apparels, what you wear to church, okay? But yeah, so these things that I'm talking about, these are the things that I remember from my childhood. So growing up in Jamaica was lots of fun. There's an adventure at every corner, and it doesn't take much to have fun. As a matter of fact, in Jamaica, there's no such thing as being locked away indoors. You crazy? As soon as you wake up in the morning, you cannot wait to go outside, because that's where the fun is, If you have to stay in the house, it's like being punished. It feels like you're in prison. It feels like you're in prison just being locked away in the house. There was just no such thing as being locked into the house. As a matter of fact, parents expect their children to be outside, out and about, playing, out in society, because once your parents get up in the morning, clean up the house, mop the floor, they don't want you back in there to mess it up, okay? But I'm hearing that things are so much different now. Everybody has a tablet now, everybody has a phone now, everybody has TV now, so children don't go outside as much anymore. It wasn't like that when I was growing up. Lord, I used to try to stay in the house and watch TV, but every time I would do so, my mom would chase me out. Go outside, do I go play? Have you ever heard that, guys? Go outside, do I go play? Because for one, two, they don't want you in the house watching TV and running up their electricity bill, right? So go outside, do I go play? And I remember having this little TV. This is a black and white TV that I used to try to watch Popeye the Sailor Man. Popeye the Sailor Man. I used to try to watch Popeye the Sailor Man, but that little black and white TV was so grainy, and we had to every so often had to kind of slap it on the side for the picture to kick back in. Yeah. Oh yeah, slap the TV on the side, and every time you slap it, you get a little image. But anyhow, yeah, that was so much fun. Or we would go outside and try to turn the antenna, because for some reason the antenna, I don't know if we needed to push it up a little bit higher or what, because some people, they would climb they would climb. I've seen it where people put antennas in coconut trees, because coconut trees tends to be very tall, and that way they will get a better signal. Uh-huh. So antenna up in a coconut tree, but ours, we just could never get it tall enough to get a good signal. So every so often, man, we kind of had to like slap it or something, or go outside and play around with the antenna to see if we can get a better image. But those are the great things that I remember about my childhood. I don't think growing up here in Jamaica is a disadvantage. Anyhow, I loved it. I love my childhood, and I wish I could have my children experience some of that life. I really do, because it really helps you to have a good frame of mind, and it helps you to appreciate things in life, and everything was so just organic and natural, and all of that good stuff. It was good. It was good. What was your childhood like? Tell me about it in the comment section. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. So see you in the next video.